Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. Thank you guys for joining me. So Scorpio, this is going to be your mid-month, mid-March reading up until the end, and then end of March, and then we'll dive into April and see what's going on for you guys. Scorpio, this will be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Cross watchers, if that's you. Discern the messages. Everybody always discern the messages accordingly, right? Like, there it is. I have shifted spaces, as we can tell, completely different background. Got some decorating to do, which I haven't had time to do, to at least not be so mugshotty, right? So, Scorpio, bear with me. Everybody, bear with me. Scorpio, a couple of things that are going on right now. Aquarius, or Pluto, I'm sorry. Pluto is getting ready to shift into Aquarius on the 23rd, and happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. We've had Saturn move in, or Mercury move into Saturn. I'm asked backwards this morning, apparently. So we've seen a lot of things shifting right now. Some timeline shifts, various aspects. So I just got Cancer's reading out yesterday. Pisces is just about ready to roll. Scorpio, clearly, you're up next as we work on this, and then everybody else, you know, make sure you're checking your sun, your moon, your rising, also Venus as well, if love is your thing too. So, all right, guys, let's just get into it. If you guys haven't liked or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. That really helps everything move along here and helps other people get the messages that they need too. All right, Scorpio, what is going on? Mid-March 2023 to April. Scorpio, please. There's Scorpio. Oh, nothing wanted to come out. Befriending pain. Oh, what, did we have a moment of awakening, Scorpio? I think we most certainly did. What a surprise. A Scorpio having another transmutation, another transformation, another awakening, right? First card out was Befriending Pain, and it states, when discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. Scorpio, you may be finding, and I'm, as a Scorpio sun myself, I can speak to this. You may be in a place right now where recently, you may be going through it right now, to that you had to sit with some pain, right? You had to sit with some dark, deep understanding of the self. Some dark, deep understanding perhaps of the people or situations that surround you. Maybe things that you've been dealing with for a long time that maybe you didn't think were going to ever come to an end or a close, but it's like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Next card is Transforming Tragedy. Loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. Scorpio, it's very much about understanding not what your losses are, but what it is that you already have. And I think Pisces energy talked a little bit about something to that effect as well. This is going to be about no longer carrying the burdens of the past so that you can make room for the things that do make you feel good. It's being appreciative of the things that you have. And that when, you know, as we know, cycles close out, we start something new. When we move through these cycles, not everybody is meant to go with us. Sometimes there's lessons to be learned on how this works and moves forward. And it is a reminder that maybe our expectation of how things were supposed to work and then they didn't can obviously set us up for grief and what we feel like is failure. But what it does is it's going to transform into something that's going to be better for you in the long run. And this invoking self-realization, each breath confirms how awake I already am. That self-realization, or invoking self-realization, to me, this speaks of how much you're doing as far as the internal work goes. There's a butterfly in there, again, transformation. When you have these moments of self-realization, maybe parts of you that you had to sit with that you weren't super excited but had to acknowledge, and we all have them. You know, it's not just Scorpios or anybody else. It's all people. There's parts of us that we have to learn how to remedy and recognize the role that we play in our own happiness, our own suffering, our own everything. And then once you have that understanding, you're able to transform that energy into something that's going to help others and help yourself moving forward. The card next on the bottom of the deck, inspiring others. I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. And I want to say to you, Scorpio, you are like I'm going to call it the poster child of being able to transform energy. Nobody can really, and no offense to any other sign, of course, but to be able, what would take some people years to work through. Sometimes, Scorpio, you are a person who can take that energy, sit with it for 2 weeks, and another person, it may take them years to work their way through those emotions, those feelings, those transformations. And Scorpio just comes back renewed and stronger every time. So, but I also think that you're doing it, the energy surrounding these cards is a very calm and collected kind of energy. With this understanding could have become a very strong humbleness. It could have been something that just made you feel very different and somehow finding some sense of peace internally as well. By that and by being, as you are out in the world around you, working, going to the grocery store, whatever it is that you're doing, your kids' soccer games, people are seeing that about you at this time. They're recognizing what energy you're bringing out to them and around them. And if nothing else, that feel-good feeling that you're exuding from yourself is uplifting others. So, and it's inspiring them to do more of the same of where you're at. So I think that's a good energy, Scorpio, to be in. The root chakra and the Merkaba. The Spirit is saying things are falling into place. Be patient and not to worry. Things are falling into place, Scorpio. Throat chakra. This is about truth, communication, listening, hearing, speaking. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. There you go. They say peace, and there it should be. Peace is coming. Throat chakra is number 5. It is coming in. And you may be sitting with truths right now, and there's that root chakra in regards to your stability. Truths as to what is no longer, you are no longer going to let rock your core, rock your foundations anymore. Finding a better way to express yourself, your feelings, your ideas, your belief system, that's going to transform your life moving forward. You're working through transformation without even knowing that you're doing it. It's amazing. Healing. Healing the home life. Healing your 4 walls. Where you come from. Family issues as well. Magic. Scorpio magic. Bear with me, guys. My allergies. It was 70 degrees yesterday, and I think the day before it was like 30 something. So my allergies are like, what are we doing? It's from a snowstorm to almost beach weather. So Mother Nature cannot get her shit together right now, obviously. Bless her heart. 31, magic. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. Spirit says you have to have the faith. You have to have the faith. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. Speak your desires into existence, Scorpio. No negative self-talk, no negative ideas, no negative vibrational energy. The power that I think you're seeking for yourself is within you. It is absolutely there. It's going to be a lot to do with the way that you address it. And the other card is 3, the solar plexus. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution to the whole is. On that note, too, when we talk about our sense of self and our personal power from that card, they're giving me that you're able to speak your truth about who it is that you are, what your personal power is. There's a clarity that you're gaining internally through whatever this exchange of energy is, whatever this change of energy is for you, whatever it is that you're transmuting at this time. I'm fully aware that maybe the way you saw yourself, or maybe somebody else's belief of you, you sat with that. It was almost like they were selling you an idea of who you were. And the reality, they had no idea who you were because they were outside of you. They were seeing their perception of you. And now you're letting go of what their perception of you is or was. And you're taking a look at who you are through your eyes rather than through somebody else's. That they can slap a label on you as happy, sad, crazy, upset, angry, whatever. And you're going, no, this is not. I see it. I know I'm not going to ride that wave of what you tell me I'm supposed to be. I am who I am. And this is who I am. So you're transforming an idea. It's almost like a belief system surrounding you. That is, this is me. This is who I am. This is my internal self. This is my nature, my spiritual nature Spirit is giving me. And this is where I stand firm. So I like that for you, Scorpio. And for funsies, I just happened to look over. I wasn't paying attention. Belief. I just said about your belief system. Number 11, the frequency of belief supports our sense of our self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to Source. We are all a connection to Source. We are all, in alignment. Well, I don't know if you say in alignment. We are all part of it. If we choose to get in alignment, then that becomes a different story. That's a personal truth there, right? Scorpio, I think I'm going to use, no, I'm going to go to these guys, I think. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm like, no, which cards? I don't know. It feels, I don't know. Okay, Spirit said use those ones at the end. All right, I'm trying to make up my mind. I'm like, Spirit, what do you want me to do? Make me your conduit. I'm listening, please. All right, Spirit. All right, guides. Thank you, angels. For Scorpio, please. Mid-March. You're finding support around you at this time. Your soul tribe is coming in, Scorpio. There are people around you, situations around you that are coming in, that they're supporting you. They're guiding you. They're being gifted to you just as you need them to be. Scorpio, you got community, blossoming abundance. I got the chills right now. Contract, and man holding a coin. I'll tell you guys this. I typically don't read for myself. I can't do it. It's the weirdest thing that I can sit there and do this for everybody else without a question. And then to sit down and try to do it for myself is like, I don't know. It's almost impossible. You have to disconnect from the self in order to do it, right? And when we live in our emotions, water sign, it's hard to do. We have a hard time disconnecting from that emotional self. But I'm going to tell you, Scorpio, if you have been through anything like I have been through myself, and not to make this about me, but understand that from this side of the camera, I'm able to empathize where it is that you've been, where it is that you've come from, what it is that you've worked on, and where it is that you're going. And I'm going to tell you, if any of you have dealt with any of the stuff that I have dealt with in the past couple of years, to see this community card, to see you having these self-realizations of transformation, that it doesn't just have to do with your external world, it's changing your internal world. And to see these cards come out the way they are right now, fucking kudos to you. Seriously. Because I'm going to tell you what, there are things that have been sent in Scorpio's path, and I'm going to tell you what, you watch other readers, that they do anything with Scorpio, they're going to tell you, it's like Scorpio will go through hell to get out to the other side, right? And you have to be willing to address that hell, and to address that hell and to get to where you're going. The divine has your back. They just needed you to get on board. They needed you to believe in you as much as they believe in you so that you can make these changes. They needed you to open up emotionally somehow to go, I'm ready. I'm ready for this change. I surrender. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of blocking myself off. I'm tired of just fighting the fight just to fight with no result. So it's like there's this self-realization that maybe, you know, someone else's depiction of you, or a picture that was painted of you, wasn't on, you know, wasn't, that can, we won't say that it wasn't honest, right? What we'll say is that, that was a perception of another person and what they wanted to believe. And somehow in the midst of that, Scorpio, you started to believe it too. And all of a sudden there was this moment of, this is not in alignment for me. This is not an alignment of my truth. And now you're stepping outside of that. And in turn, the universe is coming in and they're like, boom, Scorpio, here's some magic. Wow, look at this. You believe in you. Do you see it now? It's very beautiful energy. And you're learning to speak it. And I think you're learning to speak it. You know, Scorpios can be extremely abrasive, very rigid appearing, even when they don't mean to be. But they're just honest. Maybe not so great at the delivery of that honesty, right? They will cut you. They will sting you. But it's honest. But now it was like learning how to deliver those same messages to yourself, right? Learning to get that grasp on that too. I'm going, yeah, I could probably do this in a more compassionate way. Learning how to communicate better. All right, this community, Scorpio, this community card. King of Wands. I have seen that King of Wands pop up for Scorpio so very much. I'm going to say that this too, you may have, there's those threes. Couple things, Scorpio. Let's address this for a few things of what it is. One, if this is love, and it could very well be, right? Learning how to speak your desires of what it is that you need and what you're not willing to settle for anymore. I'm not going to settle. I'm going to step into my power and go, this is what I expect. Not because I want someone else to change, but I'm willing to wait if that means I'm going to get what I feel that I need to fill my cup. All right. Number two, you may, this King of Wands, so Leo, Aries, Sag, right? It's learning how to work together, and you may be dealing with somebody that you're not sure about. I think you think that you've worked well with them, but something is just not quite gaining the traction maybe that you had hoped it would. You've got that world card. Can't talk this morning. I think that you're thinking about it, thinking of the possibilities that surround it, but recognizing that this too may be a cycle that's coming to a completion. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, so double Leo there. It's got its pros and its cons. You're weighing your options. You may have other people around you. You know, if you're single, you may have multiple people around you. You meet people coming in kind of from, it feels like from all directions right now for you. In the midst of this, you are gaining determined people in your area of whatever it is, your expertise or whatever it is that you're working on in life at this time. And through that, you're powering through with that support system, trying to discern the best direction to take. But you have an amazing support system along the way to get there. And you have to date, right? But something is starting to shift surrounding that. But you're still going to be collaborating with others somehow. Whether this is just through your friends, this is work colleagues, this is just people you meet on the street. But there is this understanding of where you're going, and they support you wholeheartedly. This King of Wands cat. You could be dealing with somebody who's very fiery and passionate, determined, and Scorpio, that could just very well be you too right now, where you're willing to find a way, you're willing to find a compromise to get to where it is that you need to go. Because I feel like, though, at the same time, you've also put yourself out there so much, and it's almost like it got heavy, it got turned down maybe in some ways, and you're closing that out as well. So there's a lot of moving areas to what it is that you're dealing with right now, Scorpio. But it's interwoven. We're talking about weaving. And I look at these pictures here, and it reminds me of those. I don't know if this is going to mean anything for anybody. Maybe you did a craft last night with your kids. I don't know. But they remind me of the pom-pom balls, like the little fluffy looking like the clowns that they used to have, those little like pop-up button things on their their suits or whatever. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what I mean. But excuse me, to describe it to you guys, I'm like, I don't know. But anyhow, it's woven. It's woven together. It's brought together. And you're learning how to do that. And Scorpio, I would not be surprised if you met somebody through work too. So very interesting energy there, but I also feel like you're just not sure. You're probably going to walk away from it, 8 of Cups. It's too confusing for you right now. Love might be too confusing for you right now. So that's the need to get clear about what it is that you want on a personal level. You know, we're great at emotionally shutting down and checking out. So, you know, call it for what it is. This blossoming abundance, Scorpio, the Devil. Spirit is saying somebody's trying your patience again. Scorpio. Someone trying your patience? Trying your patience. They're also saying trying to have what you have. 2 of Wands. What I just say too, you're going to wait. You're absolutely going to wait to move through to what it is that you desire. You're not going to rush these energies. You know, if this is love, because there's an internal conflict here that's happening for you about what your happiness looks like. And I feel, I'm going to be honest, these first 2 cards out feel like past energies. You know, that Devil, the 4 of Cups, 2 of Wands. It's a wanting, it's a waiting, it's a waiting, it's a, I'm just going to put this all on hold because I'm not going to repeat past patterns. Like I will keep you all at an arm's length because this is not what my happiness looks like. I've learned from these obsessive ways. I've learned how this can self-sabotage me, and I'm not doing it anymore. So you can sit there with your hand out. You can sit there waiting. You can tantalize me. You can come in and make all these different efforts. But if it doesn't feel right to you, Scorpio, you're not making any moves on anything. That too is part of that self-realization, that belief of what it is that you're deserving and worthy of. And that you're not going to just run off into the sunset with somebody who makes you one promise on whatever it might be. I feel like you're in a period of waiting right now. Be calm and patient with yourself in all areas of life. You know, don't catch yourself on fire, you know, sitting around, you know, don't over-internalize what it is that you're going through. I feel like you've already done that, truthfully. You've already been there, already done that. But now it's reaching for more. You understand there's a need and a desire to reach for more for yourself. This contract for Scorpio, please, Spirit. What is this contract about? Things are becoming balanced, Scorpio. There's a lot of knowledge you may... Queen of Swords, Scorpio. Queen of Swords. I can't talk, honest to God. 5 of Wands. Queen of Swords. You're cutting out the conflict, the battle, and the damn confusion. You're very clear. The Emperor. You're becoming King of Cups. The Fool in reverse. You're not willing to take any risk at this time. I feel like you're really dedicated. Again, they're saying expressing. There's something that you're really working to express. And I feel like for some of you, you may feel like you are up against an Emperor. You know, maybe 2 people have a little bit of conflicting ideas as to how something is going to happen. But Scorpio, I'm looking at this Emperor and this Queen of Swords. And that Queen of Swords, I have no doubt, is you. No doubt whatsoever. You're ready. Whatever you're ready means for you, you're ready. This Emperor, it's become a game of chess. Whoever it is that you're dealing with in any kind of conflict right now, they may present themselves as stable. Your internal conflict for you is staying proud of who you are, is staying within that sense of self, that self-realization, right? That the winds are going to change. Like, you know that things will always change. And that is the consistent thing that happens to all of us, is change is always occurring. but you're ready. You're walking into whatever this situation is with forward momentum. You have rode the rough waves. You have had your ass kicked. You may have even had your ass handed to you. But you didn't back down. You didn't quit. And you're ready. You have gained so much knowledge and wisdom. You're smarter. You're wiser. You're older. I'm going to say more sophisticated too, Scorpio. There's a way that you handle yourself, right? With this Queen of Swords. She takes no prisoners, right? And she's ready. She's ready. I wish a mother would. And, intellectually, like, I think that maybe her opponent, or his or her opponent, right, has has looked away for a little too long, trying to pretend that everything is good. But understand, I would keep your guards up, and I hate to say this to you, but it's the truth. I wouldn't trust that emperor. I really wouldn't. He's smart too, very smart, very intellectual, but do not take any chances when it comes to somebody else. But you're being very logical, very sensible, very in tune with what it is that you desire, Scorpio. You also, for others of you, you may have somebody leading the way that is making the moves on your behalf. Here's the thing, with the way this Five of Wands comes out, that conflict, right? The Queen has put it behind her. She's done with it. It's served its purpose. It's done it, and it created for her what she needed to acknowledge. And now she's stepping into her power. She's not taking any shit anymore. And she's very confident in the fact of where it is that she's headed. Completely different space. Different space and time. Wish fulfillment, the Star, the Four of Swords, a space and time to heal, Five of Cups. Scorpio, it's almost like you downgraded in something. And it may have been in regards to love or an idea. May have been dealing with a Sag, a Capricorn, Aries energy there too. What is this about for Scorpio? Let's see. Something downgraded. I think what this boils down to here is healing through the pain. We talked earlier about the self-realization, the change in the belief system. You got the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Star. Completely contradictory energies right there, right? Wish fulfillment in the Star. The Star is a lot harder to get to because you're really working on your faith through that, right? So there may have been some disappointments of pros and cons. There may be some disappointments of pros and cons at this time for you as well. But it's also like you're learning to let certain aspects go and sit with those again. What's this about, Spirit? What is this about? Whoa. Oh, yeah. You're not... There you are, Scorpio. I think you've went from seeing the glass half empty to the glass half full. Coming out of this idea of I can't have my wish fulfillment to ready. I've renewed, restored, and rebirthed my faith in what it is that I'm doing. You're giving something else a try one more time. Whatever that one more time is for you, you've redirected your course of action. And I think that this change needed to occur for you in order to get there. What is this Five of Cups about for Scorpio, please? Ace of Swords. I feel like with this Five of Cups, I don't feel like this is something that is external as much as it is internal. That self-realization we talked about, that Ace of Swords, the Five of Cups, is realizing where you were emptying your own cup on your own behalf and not even realizing that you were depleting yourself for such a long time. So it's like now that you've got your head on straight, now that you've got yourself out of this rut, because things are balancing out, right? Coming out of that Two of Swords energy. There's the High Priestess. Now that you're balancing out your inner knowing, your intuition, trusting your intuition once again, you know that things will be restored. You may be dealing with another Scorpio, Aquarius, or even a Libra. but you're changing how you do things. Very much so. In a very, very peaceful state, Scorpio. I like that for you. It's nice to see that for you guys. What is this man holding coin? For some of you, Spirit is saying somebody might be trying to play matchmaker as well. So, if you've got that best friend and she's like, let's go, right? She's trying to find you something good. That's funny. That's funny, funny, funny. Ace of Wands, Scorpio. The Wheel. Seven of Swords in reverse. I'm getting two different storylines here, Scorpio. The second you chose to walk away from whatever this is, or whoever this might be, when you took that action forward, it changed the wheel of events. And when I say it's changed the wheel of events, it's very simply that somebody else was willing to take a gamble that you weren't willing to take. And they were willing to lie, cheat, deceive. And what should have turned out, or I don't want to say should have, what could have turned out to a positive outcome for everybody has turned into self-realization and truths, hard truths. That Queen of Wands, Scorpio, I have no doubt, once again, you were standing in your power. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, taking that action, and it's like, I told you so. I'm hearing Spirit say, I told you so. Here it is. I told you so. So if you feel like that you've been lied about, lied to, and truths are coming into the surface, they're being revealed, it's like maybe where you thought you weren't being heard, and part of that throat chakra, it's not just our ability to speak, it's also our ability to hear. Maybe you felt like you weren't being heard. Your power had been stripped from you somehow. You're like, I told you. Finally, I told you. There's a space of coming out of this confusing energy. But Scorpio, I'm going to say to you, with that Eight of Cups, the second you chose to walk away from whatever this was, you were moving it off into the sunlight. The second you chose to surrender, and I'm going to tell you for myself personally, as much as I cannot read for myself, true story right there. The second you choose to surrender, everything changes. You're not trying to hold out into an outcome. You're thankful for the experience. You change the narrative of the way you're dealing with things, having those moments of truth, and it's onward and upward, Scorpio. Very determined energy that comes out from this reading of understanding the self. And you may have all these little things. I feel like for the first time in a long time, you might be busy, but your plate is not covered in chaos and fuck shit all the time. These things are these external circumstances of chaos around you are starting to subside. And that's a good place to be in, right? All right, let's get you guys some love cards. See what's going on for your love life. And we're going to close this out for March. Healing family issues, romantic feelings. I'm going to say this to you. In regards to healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. You could be dealing with children, right? You could be dealing with family dynamic situations. I feel that this romantic feelings, when it comes out with this, I'm going to say that I feel like you could just be finding yourself in a more compassionate space. Not so much in a romantic feels, but you're addressing your feelings when it comes to these issues, these feeling issues, or these issues. It could be your parents, maybe you're the parent, maybe you're dealing with a co-parent, right? And you're recognizing how much burden was bared throughout this situation, and you're not letting yourself ignore that anymore. Maybe where there were long-term wounds that were not healed, now's the time to do the healing, and those things are changing for you at this time. You're okay with finally sitting down and expressing to yourself how it is, and how it needs to be, and resolving and accepting the space as to where that you are. So I think that that's a good thing. And of course, when we heal all those other things, we create room for healthy love in our lives. So that's a good thing, Scorpio. Scorpio in love, please. Scorpio in love. If I can pick it up. What did I just say? Maybe dealing with children. Children are affecting your love life. Or your love life is being affected by children. And this could also be your inner child, Scorpio, that's coming to realizations of various things that need to shift and change and to be healed. That you're putting your inner child first and loving it just as much, you know. So, and Spirit's also saying to me, you may be comparing what your childhood was like to that of your children now, too. So you may be looking at how to nurture them maybe in a way that you didn't feel nurtured or cared for. Being loyal and loyal and dedicated to them in a way that you felt you weren't loyal and dedicated to as a child, you know. So I think that's very important right now as you are healing yourself and your children. We heal those family issues. We're healing the generations before us and the generations after us as well. All right, Scorpio. Any more unrequited love? There is not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Express your love. Scorpio, cycle is absolutely closing out here. You're recognizing what didn't work. You're finding acceptance of the things that didn't work. I feel like this is long past energy. I really do. I think this is long overdue. Calling in your soulmate. Express your love. Whatever this is that's closing out for you, you're going to open back up into something new. The way these cards here came out kind of reminded me of like its own little storyboard, basically, of how it had to come to be. This just wasn't meant to work out. Whatever this prior situation was, it wasn't meant to work out. And that's okay. Because you're calling in somebody else for yourself that is going to love all the parts of you. They're going to love every aspect of you. But you also have to be open to accept that as well, right? Make the effort, Scorpio. You've got to open yourself up, releasing the past. Through that true love comes in. It's coming soon, Scorpio. I'd say the next 3 weeks or so. It's kind of how this is coming through to me. Over the course of the next 3 weeks, I think you're going to see things shifting in regards to your love life. I won't call them bittersweet endings, but what I will say, and make the effort, have heart-to-heart conversations. Free yourself of the emotional burdens that you're carrying so that you can express yourself. Unrequited love, attraction. Something may in the past have come in hot and heavy and you're like, this is not for me. Children, have fun, play, romantic feelings. There used to be some passion there. Healing family issues. You're making the choice to make the change. I love that. What was I going to say, though? Hell, I can't remember what I was going to say. Spirit, come back. Come back. Oh, hell. I don't know. I seen those. They had to come out. Like, I don't know. Those messages had to come out, too. They were... Spirit was bombarding me with messages all at once. I'm like, hold on. My brain and my head or mouth only move so fast. But Scorpio, whatever this cycle is that's closing out, is going to be very important for you. You've learned some really valuable lessons through this closing out of this cycle. And I think that the way it feels to me is it's long overdue. It's time for you. You're moving into a time of you. Embrace it, love it, nurture it, care for it. And that it is you, right? So sit with that. Sit with that. All right, Scorpio, if you found this reading resonated for you, please hit that like button. That's a great way to let me know what it is that's going on for you. And then feel free to leave a comment. Keep them nice, respectful, and loving, please. Truthful, but loving. And then subscribe. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It's one of the greatest ways to show your appreciation for the channel and everything that we do here, right? All right, Scorpio, I hope the end of March for you goes fantastic. Take care of yourselves. I'm sending you all my love and light. 3939, by the way. which is what, 12-12-3-3. 12-12-3-3. So, I don't know. Check it out. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Sending you light and love. Bye.